So, Om Shanti, welcome back. We will just create 5 minutes of reflection and coming into the experience. So, you can close your eyes or keep them open. And just for 5 minutes, we completely use our divine intellect. And whatever has passed till this second, we see it as a play, as a performance. The language that we use is today or my day. And using this divine intellect, we don't use the words my day has been so and so. Entire day is on the stage. It's a play. From the beginning of the day to this second, it has all been part of a play. And I am the living light, the invisible presence, who is not from the world of play. I, the living star, I am just a visitor on this stage. My home and my world is beyond this physical performance, this stage. And I, the invisible presence, I am in the unlimited sky, this expanse of red light. There is a very gentle, soothing red light all around me. And all the souls are present here in the image of invisible stars. All the stars are divine. They are all full of joy, full of peace. They are absolutely beyond harm. I can experience myself as an invisible presence, and I am absolutely beyond harm, 100% safe. There is a story, there is a play that is going on parallelly as we are in this experience. On the world stage, drama continues. There is sound, there is movement, there are actions, everything continues. To using this divine intellect, I come out of the play. I come out of the drama. I experience that I am beyond harm. I have no reason to complain or worry or be concerned. Absolutely no reason. The story is perfect, the play is perfect. All are playing their roles perfectly. It is nothing wrong with what's happening in the story. Any second that I feel something is wrong in the story, in that second I have forgotten that it's a story, that it is a play that is going on. When I come onto the stage, the body has a name, there is a story that is going on. The body looks a certain way, has an age, many different labels. But none of that defines me. None of that is actually me. It has nothing to do with the true self. I, the living light, I am completely independent of the role, the age, the behavior, everything of the character. Shanti, thank you. So we will just do a quick revision. Last time we saw that how, just like in the story of Ramayana, how Ram and Sita, they have a very happy life. They are, they have their own world, and they are, one is the king and the other is the queen. And Ram only says one thing to Sita, to not cross the line. And what happens if she crosses the line? Then Ravan makes this queen into her slave. And what is this line? This line is the line of knowledge. Internally, we all have this line of knowledge, that this world right now, what we are seeing, this is a play that is going on. This entire world is a stage, and all the people that we see, these are all roles, these are all characters. And this is a drama that is going on. Anytime that we forget that it's a drama, there is an expectation. No, the only reason why there is expectation is because I feel that I own this place, I own this person, this relationship. And how is this idea coming in? Because I've forgotten that this is a play that is going on. And I am just visiting. I don't belong here, I'm just visiting here. And as soon as one forgets that I'm a visitor here, then there is, an attitude that I own, I have control here. And as soon as I have control here, there are expectations. And every expectation results into sorrow. Absolutely, 100% of all our sorrows, 100% of the sorrow, the hurt that I experience, I am 100% responsible for that, because it is created by my own expectation. And that's where spirituality comes in. This is where this knowledge comes in, that we don't need pain and suffering to live life. We don't. No? We can have relationships, we can engage, interact with others, but have this department of expectations to an absolute zero. And how does that happen? This identification with what you are seeing right now, what we see in the mirror, the identification that this is me. No, this is me. As soon as I feel this is me, then everything that um, every person that is in relation to what I see, they are mine. And so this big confusion about me and mine, this continues, and the life is of a very low quality life. Life of worry, life of complaint, questions. This is a low quality life. And this shows that Ravan inside of us, the devil, the evil inside, he is winning. The more I experience complaints and worries and concerns, questions, then it means the soul, the true self is unconscious. And when the true self is unconscious, this Ravan, you know, the king of all devils, he is winning. How is he winning? By creating desires, expectation. That's how he's winning. And so it is worth, very important to revise the last session because it is the deepest, understanding of Maya, how our own, thoughts can lead us into a very weak and low quality of life, and how to win our own mind in that aspect. So today, moving forward, we will look at, our current society. And in our society, every being that we come across is in a different phase. Every soul that we meet, they have different perspectives, different understanding. Each one is different. Their perception is different. And what makes those differences, and why is there a difference, and how do I manage all these differences and still have absolute appreciation for each one where they are on their journey, and acceptance, zero expectations. And so this is why we will look at this model of our entire society, entire world, and we'll see how we can live without having expectations. So this is the world of, this is our sky, the unlimited sky, and this is our home. And this is also the home of God. God, the Nirakar, the light. We all know that everyone has said in their own way that God is light. And God, we looked in on day 5. God means the one who is egoless, absolutely zero ego, zero desires, zero expectations. And that is why it is called that, God is like Shambho and, this Bindi. And so Bindu and also Sindhu. So one who is zero in expectations, zero in desires, zero in sorrow. And that one is ocean of knowledge, ocean of peace, ocean of silence. And so this is the world of all the invisible presence. So all the beings, they come from here, they come to this stage, they have an entry, and they have an exit at some point. And this is where the story is going on. This is the stage. And the story has its own script. The story goes on. Anytime we create an identification and attachment to the story, we forget that this world, this is just a play. Our world is beyond this. As soon as we forget that, there is control, we would want to control what's happening here. And the first law is that this world cannot be controlled because it is um, always changing. It's unpredictable. So because of having that, feeling that I have control here, there is expectations, and we can continue to create expectations, and a mind that has expectations, it looks something like this: different identities based on how I look, my status, my age, nationality, different identities. And the true I is unconscious and overtaken by all these little, identities. And we saw that every false identity has to come to an end. Sooner or later, every identity has to come to an end. And so somehow nature, this drama of life, this will create situations to break these false identities. We see that wherever there is attachment in any relationship, wherever there is attachment, if someone has an attachment to their role, to their status, something will happen. Nature will work in such a way, it will give signals of pain to wake up the soul. But if still, one decides to ignore the um, signals and continue to create that identity, live by through that identity, then nature acts in a way and removes that identity. So in some ways, the company can shut down. They are, asked to leave their role, their position. Relationships, they break apart, fall apart, and all of this is a signal. If anything that causes me pain, any emotional pain, it is a sign that nature is giving me a signal that you correct your posture. If you're not sitting in a correct way, there will be pain immediately. And so if I'm not looking at this world in the right way, there will be pain. And so any sort of emotional pain gives me a message that my perspective of the world, the way I'm looking at this world, this person, somewhere it is not right. It is not based on the right posture. And so there will be pain. But as soon as I correct that, if I'm sitting in a odd way and there is pain, my leg is hurting, this and that. But as soon as I correct my posture, there's no pain. Yeah. So spiritually, if I correct my perspective, there is no need to have pain, any sort of pain in life. No? We don't need darkness to appreciate light. No, we can just be in light. So we have the choice to either remove these identities by ourselves, by living through this understanding that I am this invisible presence, I am on a journey, I am not this label, this role, this character, this is not who I am. I can do this with the help of knowledge, or if I choose not to do anything, continue living my life the way I want to, nature will create situations and it will break the identities. Either ways, any identity that is based on this world will be removed. No, it will be removed. So option is one is wisdom, or pain. In Hindi, it is said through, pyar se, through love, which is wisdom, or maar se, or through pain. Yeah. So it will be removed because the truth is of each one is this invisible presence, and we have to come back to this truth. We have to wake up to this truth. No? So this is why, we in every lesson we are with every session we are discovering how to wake up this true self. Different ways. Waking up this true self means living a life of acceptance. No questions. Just I work on myself. I wake up myself. I come to this higher consciousness where there is no need to be worried, complaining or crying. All this is not needed. And so feeding my mind with knowledge, and experiencing that knowledge, experiencing. So this is the, picture of each one has an entry point and an exit point. What happens within this box, this drama of life, that, we take one costume and then spend, some years in that, then take another costume, and it's a journey that, continues. And as part of the journey, it's not possible that, we all remain, 100% awake. Sooner or later, this confusion does kick in. This confusion starts, that we do start to identify ourselves with what we are seeing, and we completely emotionally disconnect from the true self and our true home and our true family. And so, no matter who it is, you know, after a time, it's like, we can't hold on to that stage, because continuously being on the journey, and being away from the home, it's like, this emotional disconnect. The more I'm seeing people, the more I'm seeing myself, we start to get convinced that this is who I am. And that's why, there are expectations and all these things. So this is like a internal journey that each one takes. Each one has this journey. Someone can be here on this world stage for 100 years. Someone can be here for 1000 years. And so both of them, after a certain point, they do cross the line internally. Yeah. So no matter what the years are, but each one has a journey, and it's a very similar journey. Hmm. So any questions on what we have discovered so far? Any thoughts? I'm sure there are a lot of thoughts coming, but it's a good time to ask, if you know.
It's 100 or 1000, it's years kind of.
Years, as in, the, like, in 1000 years you may have taken 10 bodies, changed 10 bodies, in that sense. So yeah.
So sometimes, like you mentioned, that you're sitting in a wrong posture, you're getting pain, so fix your posture and pain will go away. So metaphorically, if I've been sitting in that posture for a very long time,
Hmm.
and then I fix my posture, the pain will not go straight away because the pain has been instilled for a very, very long time.
Hmm.
How do we deal with that? So I'm talking about the things that we have created a baggage of over a period of time. Like I might start thinking that I could let go of this identity, but that baggage, I don't think it can go straight away.
Yeah.
So how do we deal with that? And if that baggage doesn't go away, it kind of becomes a catch-22 situation. So the baggage brings back your identity. You let go of identity, the baggage comes, the baggage brings. So it's a cycle that is very difficult to end.
Yeah. What you're saying is right, because we are just considering the theory, and we are understanding everything, that this is an identity and I have a baggage, and I need to let go of this baggage. And so, what knowledge helps us do is identify, check. And so, we can check for ourselves where there is guilt, where there is worry, where there is, some resentment, some anger, and we can identify. And so that is very important. But how do we actually change? Changing the posture is the main thing. Now, how do we actually change? Throughout the day, just spending, even if I am not, there is no, motivation, or internally there is no conviction or faith that this will work, but just few seconds of coming into this complete clarity, that I am 100% beyond harm. And just, what if, being seen from that assumption, What if this is all a play? Whatever has happened in the past, it was all meant to be that ways, and whatever is going to happen, it will happen at its own pace. What if this is all a play and I am completely from outside of this? So entertaining that idea for 1 minute. After that 1 minute, I may still argue with it. I may still find it, I have logical ideas around it. This can happen, this cannot happen. But just for 1 minute, you know, this is not our world. Entertaining that idea, my world is outside of this. My world is a spiritual world. This is a physical, this is a material world. And I am an invisible, I am a spiritual being. So this material world is not my world. This is like a, PlayStation. Just like someone is playing a game on a computer, they need many things to, play the game. But they are sitting in their room very simply, they just have a mouse and they are playing. So this is like a PlayStation, entertaining that idea, allowing. It's all about allowing myself to entertain this idea. So the keywords for us is, I am 100% safe, 100% safe. Once I all the fear that we have, all the negative emotions that we have, they just come from this feeling of not feeling safe, in some way feeling threatened. And so even right now, if at workplace or somewhere, um, if I feel some sort of, I'm threatened, I'm not feeling safe, then there is negative thoughts of what if this happens, what if that. My mind is racing, in future, creating stories, all sorts of scenarios. So anything negative starts with the feeling of, not feeling safe. And we are trying to find safety from something that will end. It's guaranteed that this body, it will end. And so no matter how much I try that they should like me, but this will end. Even if they like or if they don't like, they approve or they don't approve, this is certainly going to end. And so the more I try to find safety based on something that is temporary, I will, it's like I'm running after a shadow. It's like it's a never ending thing. And so that is why entertaining this idea, I am not this, you know this is just something, this is a role in the movie. I am not this. Some can like it, some cannot like it, some may have done something to it, said something to it. I remain 100% beyond harm. This, if, fire, they say fire cannot harm the soul, a sword cannot cut the soul. So someone's words, any scene of the movie, that can surely never hurt, that can never harm. And so I know we can have lot of, but for 1 minute, let me just stay here. And then after that, so the more I come to this for 1 minute, the more I keep coming back to this, we will see. It's like we are waking up something inside. And you know how they say that all the answers lie inside of you, and everything is inside of you, or you are a drop, the entire ocean is inside you. That's the real experience. It's not just philosophy, but a real experience. The more I can create this feeling of being safe, 100% safe, nothing can harm me. People can say something about Ananya, people can do something, they can gossip about Ananya. I cannot, nothing can be done to me. You know. So, and how many years am I playing this role of Ananya? Couple of years, 50 years, 100 years. Before that I had another body, I left that. I don't even remember which body it was. So to, look at the facts, looking at the facts. And it's not possible 24/7, but as I said, just 5 minutes, 5 minutes every day. So, or one minute, in maybe 10 hours. So just like how we have 3 meals, 3 reminders, at least 3 reminders. So every time these identities, they break, the more I come into this feeling of safety. Yeah. So any other thoughts? Mm, okay. So all of us spiritually go through different phases, all of us, you know, and we can see where we are and where others are. And these phases, we cannot skip a phase and jump to the other. We have to really go through all the phases. And so it's like a, spiritual journey for all of us. And the first phase, so even right now in our society, not everyone is at the same phase. No, of course, everyone is at a different phase. So we will just look at what these phases are. And after this, we will have 100%. I feel we have a tool, very nice tool to have 100% acceptance for everyone. So the first phase of any soul who comes on this earth, planet or this stage, anyone. So the first phase is the what is called the Brahmin phase. So these are the phases of the soul, not the body, the soul. So Brahmin phase. So every phase is works on a fuel. So just like you need petrol fuel for to run a car. So this is a phase of the soul. It's the highest, it's the number one phase of the soul. And the fuel here, what is the petrol that drives this phase, no, of anyone? The petrol in this phase is knowledge. Knowledge. And so a soul who is in this phase, they have 100% love for knowledge. No? So sometimes, you see children, they are going to parties or somewhere and they have a book, no matter what they're reading, they're busy in, reading their book. And so it is like this, the soul is in this phase of knowledge, absolutely, drives all its momentum, its energy from knowledge. Knowledge are of different types. There is knowledge of, how cars work. There is, architect and engineering, maths, physics, all of this knowledge. So one can be, very, one just loves, this type of knowledge. They dedicate their life to this type of knowledge. And so there are different types of knowledge. One is also of religious, text, scriptures, reading a lot of, yeah, scriptures and texts. Um, and all of this is based on this world. It's the knowledge of this world. The highest knowledge, the true knowledge, is what is beyond this world. What is the truth? And so in this Brahmin phase, the life is spent for in love for knowledge. So as I said, knowledge can be any subject, it can be scriptures, or it can be the truth. What is the truth? And every soul that we see, absolutely every soul in the world goes through this phase, starts their journey from this phase, the Brahmin phase. And there is love for knowledge. Apart from that, their life is of simplicity. Their life will have, simplicity, cleanliness. So when a soul is in Brahmin phase, 100% love for knowledge, outer and inner life, cleanliness, simplicity. They don't, believe in fancy things and, luxury, all that. Very simple, because their energy, their time, all of that is going towards knowledge. They will have something or the other to do with service of the world, the humankind, the mankind, they will want to open hospitals or open colleges or, you know, donate food or something. Their life will involve service of some type. And they will have something to do with God, faith in God. They will have a good, internally good faith in God, connection with God, or companionship, something. So these four things is part of their life. When a soul is in this highest phase, Brahmin phase, knowledge, you know, and cleanliness, simplicity, service, and God, something to do with. Yeah. And so they enjoy, their life is spent like this, and it is not for 1 or 2 years. When a soul is in a certain phase, it is for years and years, not just 2 or 3 years, but many, many years. Life is spent like this. And as we said, there are many types of knowledge in the world, but the true knowledge is, the knowledge of who we are, and where do we come from. So this is true knowledge. And souls, not everybody, not everybody takes this true knowledge. There are only some who take the true knowledge, though they get interested in the true knowledge, and they become the true Brahmins. So there are some, not everyone. Everyone passes through the Brahmin phase, but not everyone, passes through the true Brahmin phase. No? So this is the phase. After this, the second phase that absolutely every soul goes through is the is the deity phase. No, and in the deity phase, what is their petrol? What actually runs their life? You know, many, many years. They just run on this fuel, this energy, and this fuel is happiness. Happiness, they do nothing for happiness. They don't do anything for happiness. Everything that they do, the soul in this phase, they do it by being happy. No, it's like a bundle of joy, absolutely happy. And when someone is happy, they are givers. Deity means giver. So every soul goes through this phase of being a deity, absolutely happy. And one important thing about, deities is that there can be, 10, 10, bad things about a person. Mind of a deity is such that it is 100% working on happiness. And happiness means they want nothing from anyone outside. No? They don't want anything. They don't want anyone to be this way or that way. 100% happy, zero expectations. And the mind of a deity is such that if there are 10 bad things in someone and one good thing, one virtue and good quality, they will only think, talk, and see the one good quality. They don't have to work for it. It is very natural. If someone is in the deity phase, they cannot help, but they cannot see the bad things. They cannot think about bad qualities. They cannot share bad qualities of anyone. Their mind naturally focuses on the good quality. Hmm? And so this is the phase where soul has created zero bondages. No, zero bondages, zero attachments to this world. 100% the soul is conscious, and they are here, they are in the world, but they have zero attachments, zero bondages. And because of having zero bondages, um, happiness, just completely bubbling from happiness, and mind is only looking at the good, in others. If you ask, this a soul is in deity phase, they have worked 9 to 5 and they come back home. You ask them, can you sweep the house? Can you, can you water the plants? Immediately they'll say yes, very happy. It doesn't make them, think anything else, very happy. Hmm? And so this is the mind, in the deity phase. The third phase of the soul is the warrior phase. And now the soul has, created some bondages with the world, some identities. I am this and they are mine. Some identities have taken birth, very minute, but there are some identities. And so we are talking about the same soul, they were Brahmin, then they become deity, and then they are in the warrior phase. So some bondages. In this phase, the fuel, if one has created some bondages, so it's not 100% happiness. There's a 100% contentment. There is some lack. Some lack is there. And the fuel in this phase is courage. So they work on courage. So what this means is when they do something difficult, then they feel happy. Yeah. So here they're happy, happy without any reason, without doing anything. They're just happy beings. Yeah. Here they love taking risks. It's like they like to prove their worth. And by proving their worth, taking risks, they using this courage, using courage, they feel good about themselves. Because there are some bondages, so there is this aspect of proving my worth. you know. Here, zero bondage, no need to prove, no need to seek validation, nothing, just happy, 100% happy. But with some bondages, you want to prove, you want to prove you can do it. So there is this element of, they love taking risks. They they are competitive, and they like to achieve a lot. If we go to the house of someone who is in the Brahmin phase, in the living room, what will you see? What will their living room have? If you are sitting in their house, what will you see? Books. Books? Yeah. Yeah, knowledge, books, lot of books, and they are, in a different zone. And for deity, what do you see in their house? Or let's say, what do you see in the house of, warrior? In their living room, what will you see?
That show
Things that show the achievements, a lot of pictures and awards and trophies and, all of that. And um, yeah, just a lot of heads of deer and stuff like that, hunting and all that. So they like
Horses.
taking risks and showing, proving. If they do something, it will be posted on Facebook immediately. So as soon as they do something, they'll take a picture and that sort of. So some bondages, and so there is competitive nature as well. There can be jealousy as well, and but very courageous. They are no less in the doing field. They are no less than deities. Just like a deity will clean all the dishes after doing a 9 to 5 job. They have so much energy. They can help you with this, and they will do everything. Same with warrior. they can do everything, they will do everything. Internally, there is tiredness. No, internally, there is not 100% happiness. Internally, they are pushing themselves. There is courage. So they can do if you look at a deity and look at a warrior, externally, everything is the same. you know. But internally, he is every time registering that I did it. I did it. Look at, I completed my work and then I did it. But here, someone who has zero bondages, they are not heavy by what they are doing. They're not noting their actions. I did this much and I did that much. And so, yeah, it's a different mindset. So this is courage. Now, the fourth phase is the merchant phase. In this phase, the soul has created many, many bondages. Many bondages of me and mine, many bondages. And so their fuel, their energy is they work on this principle of comfort. Comfort is most important to them. you know. And so their idea of a successful life is lot of luxury and you know lot of money, investments, and because many bondages now, and so entire identity is based on the body, and so good house and good this and good that, and so lot of their life is revolving around money. So if you go to a merchant's house, what are you likely to see in their living room? Many newspapers with advertisements of properties and this and that, and so they have lot of knowledge. And so at the physical level, all the luxuries, they look for luxuries, and so they don't like taking risks at all. They don't like taking risks. They cannot take risks. They don't like to compete. They don't like to do big things. They're too risky. They are very careful. They are always in their comfort zone, sitting in their comfort zone. What can I achieve and what can I have? So this sort of life. Their understanding of a happy life is lot of money, luxury, and that's all. After this, the fifth phase of the soul is the shudra phase. Shudra phase. And so here there are, heavy bondages. Just, lot of attachments, identities, and life works on this energy of laziness. So one is comfort, being in the comfort zone. But here, absolutely lazy, very dull. The mind is very dull. It has no interest in anything creative, anything new. People can suggest them that, this is good for you, do this, do that. And they just, they will be suffering, but they want to do nothing about it. That sort of thing. They can be in a bad situation, but they just don't have any energy to do anything about it. Many heavy bondages, many bondages, lot of attachments. Um, at the level of thought also, even just at the level of thought, entertaining any good idea, it's not possible for them, and so dull, negative, very negative outlook on life. Idea of life is, eat, sleep, drink, watch TV, do the same thing, keep repeating the same thing. If you want to know, best restaurants and indulgence, life of indulgence, basically. no? So the entire life is of indulgence. And so this is a sign of, many, many bondages, internally, very strong attachments. And if we, starting from here, if we ask, someone in the deity phase that let's go for a walk, we just finished work, and let's go for a walk till, to a mountain, mountain top. Let's go for hiking. Someone in the deity phase, what their reaction will be? Yeah, let's go. Immediately they are ready. Yeah, let's go. Someone in the warrior phase, what will their reaction be? You ask them, let's go for hiking.
Tired like that.
No, they have courage. No, they have a lot of courage.
They say, let's go hunting instead.
Yeah, they will say, let's go hunting. Or, they will say, just what we said, externally deity and warrior, it's the same. Internally there is a difference, 100% happiness, and here there is lack. So when you ask a warrior, let's go for a walk, let's go on a mountain top, instead of saying yes, let's go, they'll say why not, why not. It's a different energy. It's like a challenge, accepted. Whereas for a deity, yes, let's go. But for a warrior, why not? No, let's do it. And so when you're climbing the mountain, their aim is to climb faster than you, And so they want to take pictures, after every 1,000 steps, they are taking pictures. I have completed 7,000, 8,000, and so this sort of. For a merchant, then you say, let's go, let's climb a mountain. What will they say?
Maybe not today.
Yeah, not today. But their priority is luxury money.
Mm.
So what will they say?
Yeah, there's business.
Yeah. So, they will say, yeah, let's go. And let's sell tickets for those who want to go on mountain. So for them, every opportunity is to make money, gain something from it. It's not that they will not let go of it. They'll not say, oh, I'll not go. But I will not go, but I'll sell tickets for those who want to go. Yeah, so they'll benefit. Mind is working in such a way, how can I take from everywhere? Yeah. So mind becomes complicated. The more bondages we have, more complicated mind. It's not simple. And for a Shudra, who's lazy. So you say, let's go on a mountain. What will they say?
They will be lazy. They will say no.
Yeah, they will say no. They will say, give me popcorn, I will watch people going on the mountain. Let's watch a documentary, of all the people who have ever climbed mountain, let's watch a documentary because they like indulge, a movie, this and that. And so indulgence. Now, the last phase of the soul is the demonic phase, asur. So, demonic phase of the soul. So, what was the energy, what was the fuel in deity phase?
Happiness.
Happiness. Yeah. So this is the, as we say, dark night of the soul, absolutely bottom, rock bottom. You've hit your, rock bottom. And so the energy here is give sorrow, take sorrow. So here the soul operates on this energy. They actually feel alive, by giving sorrow, taking sorrow. From simple things, you can give them a compliment. After a while, they are complaining, they are crying, they are calling someone, and they are shouting at them, she said this about my bag and she meant this, and extremely complicated mind, lot of bondages, and they're addicted to giving sorrow, taking sorrow. Not just giving sorrow, taking, taking out of every simple thing. They will take, twist things there. So this is like the perception of when the soul has bondages. These are perceptions. Same opportunity can come to a Shudra, same opportunity can come to a merchant, Same opportunity can come to a warrior or deity, but different end results. Different end results. Same opportunity will come to a demon, someone who's in the demonic phase. They will, do something to give you sorrow, take sorrow from it, and just everything, very complicated mind, being offended very easily, taking everything personally, and you just don't know what to say, what to do. It's like anything can trigger them. It's a difficult, difficult. But this same soul was once in Brahmin phase. Same soul was once in deity phase. These are the phases of all the souls. Yeah. And so what happens when you tell someone in the demonic phase, let's go on the mountain? What do they do?
Too sad to do that.
Yeah, what they will say?
I'm too sad to go out.
They'll probably discourage you from going, like
Yeah,
saying, "Oh no, it's not safe."
yeah. So they will definitely not go. They're lazy and all of that. But they will also not let you go. If they see you are very happy doing that, they'll make sure you don't go as well. So complete reverse mind. Someone has 10 good qualities. Yeah. They will only focus, they cannot help but only focus on the one bad quality. Their mind will only think, repeat, see the one bad quality. Everything is good, everything is working in favor. One thing that is not working in my favor, they will keep thinking about it, speaking about it. And just the mind is such a complicated, negative, downward spiral. It just looking for reasons to go further down. Yeah, it's the mind. And how is these phases created actually? Just by bondages. These phases are nothing but the number of attachments we have. And so what's the next phase? So this is an entire circle. And so the next phase of the soul is the Brahmin phase. No? So the first one. So the Brahmin phase. Only someone who has hit this demonic phase, they can jump back to, the Brahmin phase. So not from any other phase, yeah, but from demonic, from the last one, now you can go to the first one. And so um, if any time, demonic phase means um, genuinely, feeling some sort of satisfaction by giving sorrow. Has that ever happened? Yeah, I have to see. Has that ever happened? Some sort of, you feel justified to give sorrow, you feel justified to hurt, and you just feel, a little bit good after hurting as well. So this is all demonic. The mind has created many, many attachments. And so after this phase, this is the last phase of the soul. You cannot, further keep falling down. Yeah. Because there's no end. You can't keep falling down. After this, when soul hits this phase, there is a time when, it is just an internal voice or the game of nature, something, will create this idea in us to change something internally, change something internally, bring a transformation. And it is that phase of the demonic phase where you want to just, change something about how you're living, how you are being, and so this means Brahmin phase means work, very knowledgeable, working on identities, removing identities, becoming 100% egoless, and result of Brahmin phase is the deity phase. The time that I spend in Brahmin phase is proportional to deity phase. No? So the more I spend time in Brahmin phase, the more the more my life will be in the deity phase. Yeah. And all the other phases will be less. Yeah. Warrior, merchant, all the other phases will be less. But if I have spent less time in Brahmin phase, no, less time in Brahmin phase, then the deity phase is also less, and all the other phases are actually more. So warrior is more, merchant is more, shudra is even more. Yeah, can you close? Sorry. Yeah, just 5 minutes and we're finishing up. So so this Brahmin phase is all about coming back to, seeing what the identities are, working on them, leading this life of internal simplicity, service, cleanliness, and yeah, just keeping the mind busy in knowledge, busy in who I am and practicing that. And so these 6 phases, they happen for each and every one. It's just how much you live each phase. So Brahmin phase is the foundation. The more time we spend in this phase, more time in our life, there will be, let's say if we have, we spend 1,000 years here, then if I spend quality number of, 50 years in Brahmin phase, then my out of 1,700 years will be in deity phase. And all the other phases, maybe demon phase is only for 2 years. But if I have 1,000 years and I spend 10 years in Brahmin phase, and that too, just this and that, then deity phase is also like 100 years, and everything else increases. So more time in warrior, more time in shudra, more time in demon. So everything else increases. So all the quality of not only this life, but every other life depends on the time that I've given to study, studying myself. Brahmin phase means knowledge, means study. Studying the different games of ego, studying the identities that I have, studying the, world beyond this world, experiencing that. And the more I have knowledge, Gyan helps us to have better dhyan. No? So Gyan and Dhyan is related. So the more I have Gyan, knowledge, it is easier for me to break all the bondages, to make my mind simple, to remove all the complications, to just fly. It is easy for me to fly. No? So this is the time of awakening where we have this option to remove identities through wisdom or pain. Those who choose this option of wisdom, so naturally the life is of study, Brahmin phase. Yeah. So any thoughts, any questions here? Garima ji, any question?
So can a soul go through all these phases in one lifetime, or is this just over a period of?
Over a period of, if I feel that, we have all the phases, this is a, not a very good answer, but if we feel I have all the phases in me, which phase are we in? The last one, Shudra. Because Shudra is like, Asur is like the khichdi of everything. It has everything. But yeah, so if there is, I can see mix, morning I am this, and then by evening I am this, then I'm in the demon phase, the Asur phase. And yes, it's not possible for, to go in one lifetime. It's usually over.
Go over at least a few of these. Is it possible for a person to have had a few years in demonic phase and then jump back to Brahmin phase because of
Yeah,
whatsoever?
yeah, this can happen. Yeah, definitely. The jump from the demon to Brahmin, that happens in one
So
life.
will it always happen like if, let's say, I am in demonic phase Is Brahmin phase the only phase that I can jump to, or can I jump back to any other phase as well?
No, from demonic phase, asur phase, I can only jump to Brahman.
Okay, so there's no way
We
I
can't
can.
go back, it's
Oh.
like the next one. So it's like from a child to you can only become a teenager. You can't become a child, yeah. So it's
We have a similar question. I think you already answered.
any other thoughts, Shaktiman?
Am I audible?
Clear? And so do you see many merchants and warriors around you?
Yeah, mostly falls into merchant and
I
warrior.
have this feeling that people sometimes do overlap between the phases,
Yeah.
because one can be a very money-minded,
Yeah,
lazy person and
yeah.
not very happy about
Yeah.
things.
This overlap happens in this phase. This is mostly like a phase where you see all the seasons, except obviously Brahmin and deity, but everything else you see. It's a mixture. It's like a khichdi of everything. You can't constantly be, giving sorrow, taking sorrow. It's like sometimes you're mildly giving sorrow by being lazy, and then sometimes directly you are just hitting, So this phase has overlaps. But otherwise, if someone is in merchant phase, they are not going to be courageous at all. They won't take any risks at all. Money minded means 100% money minded. Yeah, but we can see these, this merchant and shudra, and we can see that overlap. So it's predominantly, in this energy. When we are in this energy, we can see these other phases.
So the reason why we okay, there's no way to judge, but then most of the worldly population looks
Yeah.
like they are in the last two phases.
Yeah.
So is it because there's an exponential increase in the number of years one has to go through these phases based on what they have done in like whatever time they have
Yeah.
spent in Brahman?
Hmm.
Had that been other way around, the world would be a completely different.
Place, yeah. The reason that's absolutely right, that largely in the world that we are living in, it's mostly the last two phases, and that is why we called it Kalyug. That is why we called this world Kalyug. The reason, Kalyug is just a word that implies that most souls are operating on a low energy. And so why low energy? Because they've been here for a long time. Yeah, they've been here for a long time, and now they have just created a lot of attachments. Had it been the other way around, if we were to go back 3,000 years ago, and it's a different world, souls are, still coming from their home, and they're just coming here, they're visiting. And it's a different energy because less bondages. But right now, everyone has more attachments. And why more attachments? Because it's been a long time they have been emotionally disconnected from their world. They are emotionally, they don't know. It's like, the phrase that we use is, we don't know that we don't know. One thing is that we don't know. हमें नहीं पता है. And the other thing is that we don't even know that we don't know. मतलब हमें ये भी नहीं पता है कि हमें पता ही नहीं है. No. So this is the time. We don't know. Absolutely, we don't know. We think this is a philosophy, though. No, I am a soul. It's like a nice, positive thing. But this is who we are. Yeah. And we are completely convinced that I am this. So yeah, tomorrow we will look at the time cycle. Where how does time revolve, and where we are in the time cycle, and all of that. So yeah, but this is what we see. But also, in a country like Australia, which is, how old is this country? How old is this land? 200 years old, 200, 300, compared to every other place, very new. Yeah. And that's why do you see that there is a difference between if you've been to any other country and this country, the people of this place, do you think there is a difference? Like if 5 p.m. you go to a shop and you meet an Australian, different energy. Whereas if you go to India or any other country, 5 p.m., it's different. And so this shows that because it's a new land, still souls are coming here. No, and it's comparatively new souls, so they have different energy. They don't have that much of bondages. Yeah, and that is why they can, they're smiling and it's different. So, light, not many bondages. Yeah.
So, what are the steps we should take, like from changing from the sixth phase to Brahman phase? Is there?
Yeah, the step is to lead the life of, becoming a student. The internal positioning. Now our internal positioning is of a student. You know, and so student means that, in student phase, they say that student life is the best life, because you are studying. And what are you studying? You are not concerned with how they are, how this one is behaving. You're just studying and learning. You're busy with your homework and what you have to do. So first step is to become a student. Let others, they are in different phases, they can do different things. I am a student and I studying what? Studying spirituality. Studying spirituality means living as a spirit. I am a spirit, so not just a philosophy, but living as a soul. I am a soul. I am just visiting here. I am a guest here. So at least for 5 minutes when I'm in my home, 5 minutes, I'm a guest. Not my children, my this and my. I am a guest. I've just come here. So this is the study. And so this is the Brahmin means consciously studying themselves. Any other phase, they are not doing anything. But Brahmin checking their position, checking again and again, how am I seeing this world? Why, am I creating expectations? Why am I creating expectations? Because I am thinking this is these are my people, this is who I am. But no, that is not my truth. So again and again, Brahmin, even in the world, Brahmin means knowledgeable, wise. No? So children are not wise. No, you will tell children that we are going there for 3 hours. They will go there, still they will cry when they are coming back. Children cannot see time. No, you tell them we are going there for 3 hours, but yet when they are leaving, they will start crying. But adults, they are not crying. They know I'm going there for 3 hours and I'll come back. So, same here, Brahmin means wise. We know that we are in this world for some time and then we will return. But if I don't know that I'm just here for some time, then I'm like a child. I'm childish. And so when anything happens in this world, I will cry, I will worry, I will feel angry and, all of that. So we have to study and work in removing the childishness inside us, the intellect, perspective. So removing that childish perspective and having a wise perspective, Brahmin. Yeah. So any thoughts from you?
I get the philosophical side of things, but how do you deal with setbacks in this real world when reality hits? Say you lose your job.
Yeah.
In reality, how do you deal with that? Because the fact of the matter is, you need a job to survive in this world.
Yeah.
That you are a visitor, but you still need to survive in this world. So how
Yeah.
do you deal with that?
The more I come into this experience that I don't need anything, all that we need to survive, that actually comes. But the more that I tell myself that I need this, it's like if not having a job is causing me some emotional pain, then that means that I am heavily dependent on it. Heavily dependent on it means my identity, my worth, my self-worth. Over years and years, I have trained myself that my worth depends on this. No? And that is why nature has created this situation that I don't have a job. So now, again, reaffirming that I need a job, I need a job, that is what has caused the lack of job itself. Because I am telling myself that I absolutely need it, I cannot survive without it. That is why nature has created this situation that please heal yourself, check yourself. You don't, soul doesn't even need air. Yes, that's right. We need air, physically we need air, but soul doesn't need air. So the more I'm telling myself about these physical things that I need it, I need it, I need it, becoming unconscious. I'm sleeping. And so the job will come at its own time. It will come in such a good way that this time when it comes, I will not be dependent on it. I will not have my self worth and value on it. But before it comes, let me work on myself, to not identify myself with that role, because that's the whole reason why the job is not there. So now, while it's not there, I have to, that's what I said. Even if I logically don't feel like it, I may argue with it, but 5 minutes again and again, I don't need anything. I have everything. You know, just like I'm saying, this is the absolute reality. For a minute, this is not the absolute reality because everything here is changing. How can this be real if it's changing? Then it's not real. No. So the real, what is not changing at all, is that you do not need anything. That's one thing that's never changing. You, the true self, 100% safe, 100% secure. Just a visitor. And the more you nourish that mindset, the more you nourish the real attitude, real perspective, you will see things will start coming. And now that things come, you don't even need it. No? So it's a very it's an irony.
So you're saying to leave it to destiny and fate, work its process? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that 100% destiny and nature will work its process when I've done the inner work. So I'm not saying to leave it. I'm saying the minute we leave it and we start working on ourselves, that is guaranteed it has to come. Because it is worth revising the previous sessions, and especially the session of pain message, in which in that session, I don't know, it is day 5 or day 6, but worth going back to some of the sessions last week, because all these situations, they are only coming to give us a signal of where we have identified ourselves most. And so the minute we do the inner work, law of nature is that nature is here to give us health, wealth, happiness. Nature does not want to make you poor. Nature wants to give you everything. That is why, have you seen deities, the devtas, Devi Devtas, they are always loaded with, material wealth. They have a lot of wealth. And so the nature is here to give you wealth. Nature is not here to make anyone poor. But who will nature give? They say, Atiti Devo Bhava. And so what that means is that those who consider themselves to be Atiti, Mehman, guest, they are divine. They are like Devi Devta. And so the more I come into this mindset that I am an Atiti, I am a guest, then health, wealth, happiness, even health, physical health, all of that nature has to give me that. But I don't have to be desperate for that. It will come only when I am in the right position. So the one who is in the right position, they will have a job, they will have wealth, they will have everything. But somewhere position is not right, then situations are created. And they are also not permanent. They are temporary. But in that temporary time, if I work on myself, then it's great. So all of us are invited to jump to the Brahmin phase. You know, jump to the Brahmin phase. Not just listen to this, just go beyond the words. Right now also when you are driving, right now when you go back to your home, this thought, this is my home, I've come to my children. Consciously removing this my, consciously feeling I'm a guest here. Do it for 5 minutes, do it for 2 minutes, do it again and again. And this will, remove all the bondages, identities. Nature, situations will change. Situations are bound to change, but with the right inner work. So you don't leave it to anything, but you take control of your inner world. Then everything falls into place. Yeah. So next 24 hours in Brahman phase, yes, let's study. Let's actually apply the knowledge. Just let's actually apply the knowledge. We are guests. We are, Tithi, and we are not just floating guests. We belong to somewhere. No, you're not just guest, but you belong to somewhere, and you belong to your own home. And this is the home of God. Home of God, home of all of us. So just like, you have your parents and, they will love to see you after 10 years, 5 years. Same way, God, the Supreme Being, He loves to see you after so many years. You have been emotionally disconnected. And so He loves, to see that my child is finally remembering that I am, your parent, I am your friend, I am your parent. And so, yeah, just 5 minutes. And so tonight, anything that you have, share it with the Supreme Being, your friend, your parent. Share everything with that being. And not just share what is happening in this on the stage, but share your effort. Share that I want to be a Brahmin and I want to study and I want to work on my bondages. And so make some promise, make a promise with the Supreme Being. So let's have just 2 minutes of silence, quick 1 minute silence. And in this 1 minute, we jump to this world of red light. We are in the supreme sky. I am a tiny invisible master here. This is my home. This is a timeless region, eternal region. Just like there is so much happening on the stage, in this timeless region, there is constant celebration of love, constant celebration of bliss. Right now here in this open sky, there's like bundle of joy. Every second there is bundle of joy, celebration of joy, silent celebration. All are happy. All the souls are without any bondage. They are all so sweet and innocent. And the story goes on. In this 1 minute, whatever is happening on the stage, it becomes 100% insignificant. The value of every situation on the world stage is zero, zero value. You are with God, and you are with the family of God. Blissful celebration, silent celebration. Everything else is insignificant. Nothing matters. This is the main world. The sky is the main world. This is my home. I can go back to the story with less intensity, knowing that I'm a guest. And these situations, these stories for some time. After that, it will end. They will change. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet tomorrow. Shanti.